Hello, welcome to another video. It is the Italian government scholarship application process. The Italian government Maeci scholarship 2026-2027 is currently open and its call to applications will expire on the 26th of March 2026. Now let's go ahead and talk about the benefits of the scholarship. First of all, the value has been increased from 9,000 euros last year to 10,800 euros, a difference of 1,800 euros, which is a great, development as the cost of living has been increasing rapidly recently. So it's just worth it. So what does it cover? It covers 1,200 monthly stipend for 9 months, full tuition waivers. So that means you don't pay any tuition fees. It covers your medical and health insurance, and then it also covers your meals. Who is eligible? Just like last year, for master's programs, there's an age limit of 28 years for young. Before, make sure that the application deadline does not find you, above 28. And 30 years for PhDs. You need to check the countries on the list. Not all the countries are included, and it is in the call of application that I'm going to show you in the video. And also this year, there's an improvement that they've included bachelor's programs. The requirements: you need your academic transcripts or certificate, you need a motivation letter, you need a resume in a Europass standard or Europass template, an admission letter from a public or a private Italian university. That is also a big change. Last year, it was only from public universities. And also you need supporting documents. Now, let's move on to the next one. Who has to do the pre-enrollment process? If you have an admission letter from an Italian university, when should you pre-enroll? As long as the platform opens, which is already open, and before the deadline, which is the 26th of March 2026. If you need help with making your application to any Italian university or even to this scholarship, contact me. info@studyinitaly.org. That's the business email, and my personal email is callmehildaglosh@gmail.com. Or you can send a WhatsApp to our business number on the number you can see on your screen. Let's start the application. We always start with searching on Google. All the information is available on Google. So you just search Maeci Scholarship 2026, and it is the first link, of course. And you can scroll down to make sure that the website is Study in Italy. That is the official website where that information is published, and the call to application is, and where you actually go to apply. So clicking on the first one, it takes you to the website that looks like this, where you find all the information and you find the call to application as well. Okay. So it has a deadline. It should be sent out by the 26th p.m. March by 2 p.m. When you scroll down, you see bando. There is the bando in English, which is the call, and then the bando in Italian. Also, Italians or people that are going to study in Italian language are allowed to apply. So let's go ahead and have a look at the call to applications. It's very important as it has all the vital information that you need before you apply. So it shares the different types of scholarships. It has master's degrees or laurea magistrale, which is the second cycle degree in Italy, higher education in arts, music, dance programs for the first and second cycle. That is bachelor's and master's cycle. It also has got some Italophonic scholarships where you come and learn the language and culture in Italy, bachelor's degrees, different ones, and then they do give you the eligibility criteria where they talk about the age and what you should have. Talk about the academic qualification. Definitely, if you're going to apply for a master's degree, you should have the previous one, which is the bachelor's degree. If you're going to apply for a bachelor's degree, you should have the previous qualification, which is a high school certificate or the international baccalaureate. If you went to an international school, the programs, the age limit, the language proficiency. If you are going to study in English, and you studied your previous qualification in English, entirely in English. For instance, if you're going to study a master's degree and your bachelor's degree was in English, you don't need to show any IELTS or English proficiency letters. However, if your language was not English or Italian, you're going to have to provide a translation. So we go down to the renewals because there are some people that are already on the scholarship and have got to renew because it is renewed every year. It's the information is there. The funding period is usually from November 1st, 2026 to July. They don't sponsor you in the summer, or they don't give you a monthly stipend in the summer because you are basically on holiday. So they also have the link to apply, which is also in the call of application, which is on this page. It is exactly the same as last year. It's just that the information is for this year. So you scroll down, you go through all the information, and then there is the bundle, which obviously gives you what we have just looked at. So let's go ahead and apply. So you start by registering. As you can see, when you click on the top right corner, it takes you to a page where you have to fill in your details, your name, your surname, your date of birth, your sex, citizenship, telephone number, country of residence, and all of that. So let's go ahead and fill that in. I am helping one candidate fill this in, but obviously this is an example. I'm not going to give the very exact details. Remember, in case you would like help with applying to the scholarship or applying to any other scholarships in a European university or to any European or Italian university to get an admission, we can help you secure that. Just send me an email or send us a business WhatsApp message, okay? So this candidate is definitely female. And here they were asking for the date of birth. I'm sorry that my image is distracting or obstructing is the word. What I'm doing, it's because I don't want my videos to be stolen and shared on other pages. But yes, I'm going to scroll down so you guys can see down there. I was putting in the date of birth and then the sex, the country of birth, this making sure that your birthday does not land on the deadline. It should be before the deadline. So if it is on or after the deadline, you might not be considered. Okay, so if you are turning 30 on the 26th of March, unfortunately, you are not eligible and you cannot apply. And as you can see, as you're going to see in the application, it will only permit you to continue if you are within the same age bracket, okay, the required age bracket. So this particular candidate is applying for a PhD. However, it is the same process for bachelor's, for master's as well, okay? So the person was born in Kenya, even though their citizenship is Uganda. And I'm trying to find Kenya. Where is it? And their residence is something. You're going to make sure that you have all these details right and take your time. The application is actually very quick. It is the quickest I have ever done. It takes only 10 minutes compared to the others in Germany or in the UK, which take a bit of time. This is pretty much straightforward, and I have done it many times. So definitely I have all the documents ready. Make sure that you have everything ready. The documents in the right size. They shouldn't exceed 10 MB, because if they do exceed 10 MB, if they are named wrongly, you are going to have a problem and your application will be rejected. So if you have all of that ready, it's going to be maximum a 15 minutes run through. So we move on to the next one, where they require the documents. The type of document we're going to use is the passport, but you can always use your ID, national ID, and you can change that with time. So this is the passport number. Of course, it's a pseudo one. It's not a real one. It's just to demonstrate. So issued by the Ugandan government. If you are a Nigerian, you could say the Federal Republic of Nigeria or the government of Nigeria. When does it expire? Make sure that your validity is more than 2 years, because usually once they issue a study visa, it is usually 1 year. So the validity of your passport should be 1 year until the time you're supposed to come. So we move on to the next one. They want you to choose a username, which I just choose the full name, the candidate's full name. There shouldn't be any spaces, because if you put any spaces or any special characters, it will not be accepted. So we put in the username, put an email, it should be a valid email, as they will send you a one-time password that you will use to log in. So make sure that the email that you put is a valid one and that you have access to. Okay, afterwards, you confirm the email. This is of time, but don't worry. This year, I must commend the authorities or the body that is responsible for handling the scholarship data. It is easy and smooth. Last year and the year before, there were lots of hiccups and sometimes the website would jam. However, if this happens to you, I highly encourage that you send application before, at least 3 days before the deadline, because towards the end, so many candidates are there, and once it is jam-packed, it might crash. It crashed about 4 years ago and they didn't repair it. People's applications just kept on being rejected until the deadline, which is 2 p.m. on the 26th of March, and then that's it. People were told, we're sorry, and it was nothing. So make sure that your application is sent as soon as possible. So you choose the password, and you will use this password to log in. So registration is quite easy. As you can see, this has taken about 8 minutes. And filling in the application is going to be even faster, I promise you. So use the username that you used on the previous page to log in here, and definitely the password. If you have a problem remembering them, like myself, I just write them down on, a Word document so that I can just copy and paste to make my life easy. As you can see, I've just clicked logged in or login, and it's going to take me to the application page. So before I get in, there is a one-time password to verify. Please note that you can actually send this application either in English or in Italian, whatever language is easier for you. So the one-time password that they sent to the email address that I put is what I'm going to check for, and then just put in there, and it will permit me to start the application. So invia means go, basically. So as you can see, I'm already logged in, or the candidate is already logged in. We're back to this page, but this time there is a button for applications. So my application, you click on that. It's basically the same as last year. They didn't change anything apart from the data. Create application, and then it's only got 3 pages, which are very short. The first page has your details because you put them in while you were registering, and they're already there. Like I mentioned, it's either in English or in Italian. That saves you a lot of time. So you click next to get the next one. This is the easiest, to be honest. If you know anyone that is looking for a scholarship, send them this link so that they're able to apply, because it's easy. Then there's a bit of information here to get course selection. Have you already benefited from the scholarship? No, this person has not yet benefited. Okay. Then will you submit supplementary documents for that? No. The type of program is a PhD. Remember when I told you that once you put in your age, they would put the limitation of the courses that you will apply to. So this person is 31. So definitely they do qualify for just a PhD and not the master's. And in the drop-down list, there hasn't been any master's opportunities. So this particular candidate is applying for a scholarship to do a PhD in Italy. And they're going to do a PhD in architecture. How smart. So if you're going to do a PhD, definitely you have a supervisor and you have an invitation letter and an admission letter from the university. So the invitation letter, definitely you're going to put in. She's going to be studying at the University of Politecnico di Milano. And in the city of Milan, they require your supervisor's email. Obviously, if you have an admission, you already know who your supervisor is going to be. You already know what the project is all about. If you have any trouble, or if you'd like us to help you with securing an admission to an Italian university or any European university, let us know. Also, you can save your data so that you can always come back to the application. How cool is that? Right, let's move on to the next one. So this is where you put in all the required documents. As you can see, you need your curriculum vitae, you need academic transcripts, you need your PhD letter, admission, and then you need a supervisor invitation letter, then you need a motivation letter, another document. if you are applying for a master's degree, I do have a video that I made last year. It's basically the same thing. It's just that it will give you an insight of what it looks like for a master's program. If you would like one for a bachelor's, I can film that as well. Just let me know. Comment down below in the comments. If you'd like to add other documentation. This particular candidate has an IELTS file, not file, certificate. So I'm gonna attach that as well. Because anything additional that you have makes you beat the competition, to be honest. Any academic document that you have, any extra, even if it might not be required, you just plug it in there so that it is something extra or additional to your application. Then you read terms and conditions. I declare that all of that is that. So as you can see, file name not accepted. Use only letters, numbers, and the following special characters. So in case of the files, in the file names, I had saved them with spaces. That's not accepted. So let's fix that and attach the documents again. So annoying that they take you back to the previous page. That's okay. That's already filled in. Let's go to next and put in all the details again. This is to help you if you have oversized documents. I do share how to do that in a video that I'm going to share in the description box below, so that you guys can refer to that I did last year or the year before about applying for this particular scholarship, but for a master's degree. It helps you, show you how you can reduce the size of the documents. So go ahead and check it out. Again, if you need to secure an admission, let me know. This is the final page. They show you the summary of the application, and then there's a bunch of things to declare. You're not a beneficiary of a scholarship by the Italian government. You declare that everything there is real. And at the end of it all, you click submit or send, and then they will send you a confirmation email, and then you wait for when the results will be published. And that's it. You will be invited to an interview. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.